When installing lighting fixtures in a return air plenum within an heating, ventilation, and air conditioning or HVAC system, several code requirements dictate both labeling and testing procedures. These requirements aim to ensure safety and prevent the spread of fire and smoke through the building's air handling system. Firstly, the standard for safety for plenum chambers in air handling systems, UL 943, mandates that any lighting fixture intended for installation in return air plenums must be clearly labeled as plenum rated or type IC. This labeling signifies that the fixture has undergone specific testing and meets the safety standards necessary for plenum environments. This is crucial because plenum spaces often serve as pathways for air circulation throughout a building. Using non-plenum rated fixtures in these areas could introduce materials that release harmful gases or contribute to fire spread. Secondly, for exit signs specifically, the standard for electrically powered exit devices, UL 199, imposes specific testing requirements when these signs are installed in return air plenums. These tests include operation under extreme temperature conditions, resistance to smoke accumulation, and an evaluation of heat generation. Operation under extreme temperature conditions ensures that the exit sign continues to function reliably even if the plenum experiences elevated temperatures, which can occur during a fire. Smoke accumulation resistance is critical because smoke can obscure exit signs, making it difficult for occupants to find their way out of the building during an emergency. Heat generation testing assesses whether the exit sign produces excessive heat, which could pose a fire hazard or degrade the plenum environment. In addition to UL standards, the National Electrical Code, specifically Section 410.3c, provides guidance on the installation of lighting fixtures in air handling spaces. This section mandates that lighting fixtures must be supported in a way that prevents their displacement. This is to ensure that the fixtures do not fall and create a hazard or obstruct the airflow. Furthermore, the fixtures must be constructed to minimize the release of hot particles. This requirement aims to prevent the spread of fire through the air handling system. It is essential to use fixtures that are designed to contain hot particles, such as molten materials, that might be generated during a failure. NFPA 90A, the standard for the installation of air conditioning and ventilating systems, further restricts the installation of lighting fixtures in return air plenums. It explicitly prohibits the installation of lighting fixtures in these spaces unless they are listed specifically for such use. This listing indicates that the fixtures have been evaluated and found to meet the safety requirements for plenum environments. This means that the fixture has been tested and approved for use in a plenum space. It is not sufficient to simply assume that a fixture is suitable for plenum installation. You must confirm that it is listed for this purpose. It's important to remember that code requirements can differ based on local jurisdictions. Always consult with local authorities and the fixture manufacturer to ensure full compliance with all applicable codes. Local authorities, such as building inspectors or electrical inspectors, can provide clarification on specific code interpretations and any local amendments. The fixture manufacturer can provide information on the fixture's listing, installation instructions, and any specific requirements for plenum installations. Understanding these code requirements is critical for ensuring the safety of building occupants and preventing fire hazards. When selecting and installing lighting fixtures in return air plenums, always prioritize plenum-rated or Type IC fixtures, adhere to the testing requirements for exit signs, and comply with the support and construction requirements outlined in the National Electrical Code. And it is important that you always consult with local authorities to ensure full compliance. To expand on these requirements, let's delve into the specifics of each standard and code provision. UL 943, the standard for safety for plenum chambers in air handling systems, is a comprehensive standard that outlines the safety requirements for electrical equipment intended for installation in plenum spaces. This standard covers a wide range of electrical equipment, including lighting fixtures, wiring, and other components. The primary goal of UL 943 is to prevent the spread of fire and smoke through the air handling system. To achieve this goal, UL 943 specifies stringent testing and performance requirements for plenum-rated equipment. These requirements include flammability testing, smoke generation testing, and temperature rise testing. Flammability testing assesses the ability of the equipment to resist ignition and flame propagation. Smoke generation testing measures the amount of smoke produced by the equipment when it is exposed to fire or heat. Temperature rise testing evaluates the temperature rise of the equipment under normal operating conditions. These tests are designed to ensure that plenum-rated equipment does not contribute to the spread of fire or smoke in the event of a fire. UL 199, the standard for electrically powered exit devices, focuses on the safety requirements for exit signs, which are critical components of building safety systems. This standard specifies testing requirements for exit signs installed in return air plenums, with a particular emphasis on operation under extreme temperature conditions, smoke accumulation resistance, and heat generation. Operation under extreme temperature conditions ensures that exit signs continue to function reliably even when exposed to high temperatures during a fire. This is critical for guiding building occupants to safety during an emergency. Smoke accumulation resistance is essential because smoke can obscure exit signs, making them difficult to see. UL 199 requires that exit signs be designed to minimize smoke accumulation on their surfaces, ensuring that they remain visible even in smoky conditions. Heat generation testing evaluates the amount of heat produced by exit signs under normal operating conditions. Excessive heat can pose a fire hazard and degrade the plenum environment, so UL 199 sets limits on the amount of heat that exit signs can generate. The National Electrical Code, specifically Section 410.3c, addresses the installation of lighting fixtures in air handling spaces. This section requires that lighting fixtures be supported in a manner that prevents their displacement. This is to ensure that the fixtures do not fall and create a hazard or obstruct the airflow. The National Electrical Code also requires that lighting fixtures be constructed to minimize the release of hot particles. This requirement aims to prevent the spread of fire through the air handling system. It is important to use fixtures that are designed to contain hot particles, such as molten materials, that might be generated during a failure. NFPA 98, the standard for the installation of air conditioning and ventilating systems, provides comprehensive requirements for the installation of air conditioning and ventilation systems. This standard prohibits the installation of lighting fixtures in return air plenums unless they are listed for such use. This listing indicates that the fixtures have been evaluated and found to meet the safety requirements for plenum environments. Compliance with NFPA 90 is essential for ensuring the safety of building occupants and preventing the spread of fire and smoke through the air handling system. When selecting lighting fixtures for installation in return air plenums, it is crucial to prioritize plenum-rated or Type IC fixtures. These fixtures have been specifically designed and tested to meet the safety requirements for plenum environments. They are constructed with materials that are less likely to burn or produce smoke in the event of a fire. When installing exit signs in return air plenums, ensure that they meet the testing requirements outlined in UL 199. This includes testing for operation under extreme temperature conditions, smoke accumulation resistance, and heat generation. Proper installation is also critical for ensuring the safety and performance of lighting fixtures in return air plenums. Follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully and ensure that the fixtures are securely supported to prevent displacement. Also, use appropriate wiring methods and connections to prevent electrical hazards. When selecting and installing lighting fixtures in return air plenums, it is important to consider the specific requirements of your local jurisdiction. Local codes and regulations may impose additional requirements beyond those outlined in the national standards. Consulting with local authorities and the fixture manufacturer can help ensure full compliance with all applicable codes. Remember, the primary goal of these code requirements is to protect building occupants from the hazards of fire and smoke. By understanding and complying with these requirements, you can help ensure the safety of your building and its occupants. It is also important to note that the requirements for lighting fixtures in return air plenums may vary depending on the type of building and the specific application. For example, the requirements for a commercial building may be different from those for a residential building. Similarly, the requirements for a healthcare facility may be different from those for an office building. Therefore, it is essential to carefully consider the specific requirements of your project when selecting and installing lighting fixtures in return air plenums. Furthermore, it is important to stay up to date on the latest code requirements and standards. The National Electrical Code, NFPA 90A, and UL standards are updated periodically to reflect new technologies and best practices. By staying informed about the latest changes, you can ensure that your lighting installations are safe and compliant. In addition to the code requirements discussed above, there are also some best practices that you should follow when installing lighting fixtures in return air plenums. These best practices can help to further enhance the safety and performance of your lighting installations. Firstly, use only plenum rated or Type IC wiring and cabling. This wiring is designed to resist the spread of fire and smoke and is essential for maintaining the integrity of the air handling system. Secondly, seal all penetrations through the plenum with fire-resistant sealant. This will prevent the spread of fire and smoke through the penetrations. Thirdly, inspect the lighting fixtures regularly to ensure that they are in good working order. Replace any damaged or malfunctioning fixtures immediately. Fourthly, keep the plenum clean and free of debris. Dust and debris can accumulate on the lighting fixtures and create a fire hazard. Fifthly, train building maintenance personnel on the proper procedures for maintaining lighting fixtures in return air plenums. This will help to ensure that the fixtures are properly maintained and that any potential problems are identified and addressed promptly. By following these best practices, you can further enhance the safety and performance of your lighting installations and return air plenums. Remember, the safety of building occupants is paramount. Always prioritize safety when selecting, installing, and maintaining lighting fixtures in return air plenums. By understanding and complying with the code requirements and following best practices, you can help ensure that your building is safe and compliant.